Hi, I'm Dixie D'Amelio, and I go by content creator, entrepreneur, and singer.
Well, Dixie, it is so nice to meet you. You're 20 years old and you've got 57 million TikTok followers. You've gotten 3.2 billion likes on the platform, and you were the second highest TikTok earner in 2021. Your sister was first, making $10 million. How does that make you feel?
I mean, those numbers don't seem real at all. I've never even seen 100,000 people in one place. I can't imagine anything more than that. It's so wild, but I'm very grateful that people follow me, and if I can bring joy into people's lives, that's the best feeling in the world. So I love what I do.
That's awesome. And you are doing so much. I mean, you have so many business ventures. Can you give us an overview of the business of Dixie D'Amelio?
Okay, so I do music and modeling and that stuff. I have like that side, the content creation side, and then stuff with Social Tourist and things I do with Puma. I mean, there's just so many different lanes that I'm in, but I love every single part, and this is like my dream job that I get to do every day, and multiple of my dream jobs that I never thought I'd be able to experience. So,
okay, so let's take it back to the beginning. How did you get to this seat?
So, in the end of 2019, mid 2019, Charlie started on TikTok, and I mean, it was kind of embarrassing because I was a senior in high school and she was a sophomore, and she was posting TikToks and getting some likes and getting a lot of attention online. I was like, Charlie, please, this is so weird. Like, this is a lot. You're doing a lot. But the more I learned about the app, because I was on it as a viewer for the longest time, Charlie and I both, but I never posted anything. And trying to be a protective older sister, I was like, just be careful what you post. There's a lot of people who watch your stuff. Like, we never know. And then she went to California with my dad and did a interview and met some other TikTokers. And then she got invited back for an event. And it was the night before. The timeline it feels like so long ago, so I'm trying to remember how it all happened. But Charlie hit 1 million followers, and that's when I did my first post. And I posted with her on her page, and she tagged me, and I had my username was like my name without any vowels in it.
I think we actually have that video.
Oh my gosh, no. Oh. Yeah. That was one of my first TikToks with, oh my gosh, I forgot Charlie was in that. Yeah, so I was just kind of having fun. My videos were a little all over the place. I think I was doing a for my stat class, we did like a Barbie doll experiment where you put rubber bands on them and throw them off a ledge, and that was one of my first TikToks. So I was just doing a bunch of random stuff, but it did become really fun. And then when I started coming out to LA, I was kind of Charlie's chaperone and met more people, and I wasn't even posting really, but I did enjoy watching everything. And then I started gaining a following from just the random videos I was posting, and now we're here. I think I skipped a few steps, but now I'm sitting here.
Yeah, so you've come a long way from throwing Barbies off a ledge to making $10 million a year. What is the number one thing that people should know about your business?
I think the number one thing, and what I think is really important, is this is what I wanted to do. This is what I was going to college for. I wanted to be in business. I wanted to learn every side of it because I watched my dad working when I was growing up, and I was so intrigued by how smart he was with every side of business and design and selling, and everything was just so inspiring. And I feel like that's why I really enjoy working in business.
TikTok as a platform is fairly new, and you're, one of the biggest stars. You're actually pioneering TikTok fame. What have you learned in the process?
I think the biggest lesson, and yes, it's a lesson on the internet, but also real life, is it's a cycle. Everything's a cycle. everything comes and goes. Hate comes and goes, fame comes and goes, and I think you just need to appreciate the moment and know either if it's the worst part of your life or the best part of your life, it's going to be a lesson, and never forget to be humble and just grateful and enjoy every moment every day, because I definitely do have some, not regrets, but I wish I enjoyed the moments more and wasn't so worried like, oh, are people going to be mad if I go to this event because I'm not supposed to be there? And I was always so stressed about every move I made, and I do wish I enjoyed it a little bit more.
What, or anything in particular?
I think when I got opportunities or was nominated for an award or something, I wouldn't post it because I felt undeserving of it. And I wish I was more proud of myself in those ways instead of being nervous. But I think now I realize I'm very lucky in the position I'm in, and I want to not show it off, but show that I'm proud of myself and I'm here and I'm so grateful. And that's what I try to do now.
Right, you touch on something that you've been really open about throughout your career as a TikTok star, which is struggling with mental health as people attack you and say mean things about you online. I mean, like on your Hulu show, we all saw you sobbing into your parents' arms. As haters have become just a part of your life, do you feel like you've become immune to it, or is it still something that you struggle with? Tell me more about your relationship to negative feedback.
I think I go back and forth, and I think now the comments don't affect my mental health, but if I'm going through a rough time and then I see comments, it definitely makes it a lot worse. But if I'm mentally okay and I'm doing good, then it doesn't bother me. But I feel my talking about mental health is a scary thing, because I do want to be taken seriously in everything I do. And if I'm talking about struggles, I don't want to seem weak. But I don't think talking about that is weakness, because we all have something we're going through. And I now like being able to meet more people, and I just went on tour and did meet and greets, and talking to the people who follow and support me, they said how much my talks about mental health really helped them. And that's where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm on the right track, I'm helping someone, and even if it's one person, then I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that talking about mental health is great, and you've obviously been so open and vulnerable about it, and you're an extreme with 57 million followers. Most people don't have that, but we have seen studies, news reports, etc., that TikTok, social media, it's not great for people's mental health.
Yeah, again, I see the cycle in that as well. When someone's blowing up, they have all this love, and when I follow them, then I see on their close friends, they start getting hate and they're really upset about it and not sure what to do. And then everyone loves them again. So I've gotten to see that cycle firsthand so many times, where someone rises so fast and immediately the second they get too much attention or they try to do something outside of the TikTok realm, it goes downhill. But then it'll go back up. So
it's so complicated, right? Because your career, your fame, your fortune is tied to it, but it's also been toxic, and it is toxic for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's been better recently. People have kind of been minding their business a little bit more. Everyone's just kind of matured on the internet recently from what I've seen, but it's a cycle, so it'll probably come around again.
Right, and with consumer taste changing and the TikTok algorithm changing, how do you feel knowing that any minute, like, you could be on top of the world and another minute you could be irrelevant?
I mean, that kind of goes with everything. Life's a roller coaster, and there's going to be good days, bad days, and you can come back. And I think as long as I stay true to myself, I know who I am, and I continue on the path of doing things that bring me joy, then I'm going to be happy. Either if one person follows me, 50 million people follow me, I'm grateful no matter what, if I'm doing what I love.
On the journey, now you've got, you're so much more than a TikTok star, as you said yourself. Mm-hmm. you've got your singing career, your modeling career, your Hulu show, a venture capital firm, you have equity in a bunch of companies, the list goes on. Do you feel like this, diversification into all these different things is a way to keep you in the spotlight? Like, talk about why you're doing so many different things.
I never thought of it as a way to keep me relevant, but I think it's more while I'm relevant, I want to do as many things that I can that I enjoy and just try everything, because I have this opportunity right now, and if I was like, I'll wait on that opportunity might not be there anymore. So I've definitely been very lucky to go into so many different fields and try so many different things, from film and music and modeling, and I just love it. I love everything that I'm doing, and I'm just having the best time.
What's it like to go from this really novel kind of fame to a more traditional Hollywood entertainer?
I mean, it doesn't really feel like anything. My days are very chill when I'm not doing anything. I don't know. It just feels like work. I go, I do my job, and I love it, but go home, same, go to bed, kind of chill, watch TV every night. And it's so funny when I get that question, because people think it's, oh, you're doing this and fancy things all day. I'm like, yeah, I just kind of live my life.
Living your life, it's the American dream. I mean, that's what, it's not going and starring in a Hollywood film now. It's going on TikTok, being a TikTok star like you, and then starring in a Hollywood film maybe. You're very much that. How does it make you feel to be living what many people would say is the American dream?
It definitely feels like a dream most of the time. It always hits me at random times, like I'm driving somewhere and then I'm like, oh my God, what is my life? Like, what is going on? And kind of just sit back and make sure I'm staying true to who I am. And I talk to my friends every day and my family, just kind of try to stay as grounded as possible, because I always feel like that's so important. And meeting people in this industry, I think the highest compliment that I get is, oh, you're so normal and you're so cool and nice, and like I could tell you are just very kind. And I really appreciate that, because that's who I am and that's who I know I am, but I never want it to be clouded by this whole fame thing.
Yeah, I mean, one really interesting thing about TikTok fame is that no matter what you do, you have an audience. Like, if you wanted to, you could never pay for another thing in your life. But you obviously have chosen not to do that, because then you'd just be like a walking endorsement deal.
Yeah. From the beginning, for the most part, I'm very lucky to have those opportunities where people are like, I'll give you this if you post this. And I always felt so guilty about that. And
why?
Not feeling like I deserve it. So I'm always the one to, maybe I'll DM them and be like, is this in stock? And then buy it on their page. I always just want to support any business that I see. And I think seeing a lot of people take advantage of that definitely makes me realize, oh, this is so much bigger than just, oh, an influencer posting a product. There's so many different steps to it and so many people it affects if you post something, but a lot of times I'd rather buy something on my own and then post it, or if I truly love something. I think that is really important to me, is anything I promote, it's something I love or use.
That's really interesting. You do not hear that every day, is that you're going into your DMs and trying to buy things that people are selling you or giving you for free.
I mean, I'm very lucky to be sent things, and sometimes I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't do this. It's very cool and a very sweet thing, but I do feel guilty sometimes doing that.
Well, the creator economy is enormous, and you're at the top of it, but I think it's now a $104 billion industry with 50 million people who call themselves professional creators. you're at the top. What advice would you give to people who are looking to have careers like the one that you're having?
That's insane. Those numbers are crazy. I think kind of everything I've been saying. Stay true to yourself, stay humble, and care about the people around you, and just don't be selfish. I feel like a lot of times people get the second or a quick video and get a lot of attention, and then they come out to LA and it's just very climb to the top thing. And I'm very lucky that every person I've met has been, and I've met and kept a connection with, has not been like that. And I have friends that I've met here on day one that I think will be my lifelong friends. And just kind of put yourself around the right people, and not right people as in might get you the most famous, right as in help you be your truest self, because that's what people want to see on the internet, is you being yourself and having fun and obviously being entertaining. Not that I'm saying I'm entertaining, but maybe to someone, I don't know.
I think that, you wouldn't have 57 million followers if you weren't at least somewhat entertaining. But one of the reasons why the creator economy is so, it's worth $1.4 billion or $104 billion is that it's reinventing marketing. And you're very much part of that, where you're the channel, the product, the salesperson, like you're the entire marketing funnel. Talk a little bit about the blurred line between existing and living your life and posting with your friends and then also selling.
I feel it does get a little blurry sometimes, but I try really hard to, I don't know, I go through phases where I want to post a lot and then I might have an ad in there for a contract or whatever, but for the most part, I love posting what I want to post and when I want to post. So I can post 7 videos in one day or not post for 3 weeks, and I'm very lucky to be able to do that. But I do get a little frustrated with myself when I am not in the creative space and I'm not thinking of anything or making any videos or taking any pictures. I do get frustrated with myself because I feel like I'm failing a little bit, but I just try to take a step back, readjust, and think where I want to be creatively.
Why do you think that you're failing?
It's like, I feel like it's such an easy job to make videos and take pictures, and I'm like, why can't I do that? Why can't I think of something? And I get so hard on myself about the silliest things, but then I remember I'm like doing 100 different things, and I'm trying to build many different careers all at the same time, and I'm only 20, and just take a step back and calm down and everything's going to be okay. That's just what I try to tell myself.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like you've got an effective coping mechanism. I mean, I'm curious to know, what is the feedback from the brands and companies that you work with?
I think for the most part, I mean, the ads that I do best when I'm being myself or being like silly and kind of overacting a little bit, because that's what I would watch if someone was like, oh my gosh, you should buy this, like obviously as a joke. Yeah. And that's how I kind of do my stuff now, and it works better than like the normal kind of do this dance for this item. And luckily a lot of brands trust me to come up with the correct concept for anything, and it's authentic, and the things I show I truly love and use, so it's cool.
Yeah. So walk me through what it's like to go from being like, oh, I'm going to partner with Amazon to the video is shot for Amazon and I'm posting it on my TikTok.
I mean, there's so many behind the scenes of like emails going back and forth.
No, I truly can't.
I ignore those sometimes and just
that's probably healthy.
Sorry, my team. But then I'll get a sheet of exactly the things I need to do and all the dates things need to get done by. I am not late. I cut it close a lot of the times, but that's how I worked in high school. Like the end of the semester is when I got all my stuff done, and then my grades were fine. So yeah, I'm still trying to work on time management, but then do all the content different times. Sometimes it's all on the same day. Sometimes I'll do one thing here, don't finishing at like 3 a.m. I don't know. Every day's different.
We're all suckers for deadlines.
Yeah.
It's just how it works.
I thought it would be done after high school, but no. And this is a lot more stressful.
So season 2 of your Hulu show is coming out very soon. In the show, you highlight more facets of your business. How has the show allowed you to expand your business?
I think having the show has been really great. I think a lot of the feedback from last season it was so nice getting to know them, and they seem like a real family. And online in 15-second videos, it's hard to see our family relationship and what we do day to day. It's just been really fun, and I love being able to work with my family. I don't know. The show's great.
Yeah.
And bringing people into our lives a little deeper is really fun too.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to go back to TikTok. Do you think that the coinciding nature of your issues with being public and TikTok surveillance, like, how do you think that affects the audience?
There's really no line of what's okay and what's not. And it is.
What do you mean by that?
Like how far people go into your business. Mm-hmm. There's no it's different for every person, because if it's a person who's really well liked, they won't cross a line of anything. Like they can do anything. We'll keep it private. We'll keep it calm.
Really?
And if you're not liked as much, people will pry a little more to find not negative things, just either it's relationships or where you live or your phone number. And I mean, my number's been leaked for a very long time, and I haven't switched it. But
you haven't?
Because I've had the same phone since 5th grade, phone number since 5th grade. So I want to keep connected with my people, and that definitely is one of the most frustrating things, because I do get phone calls every day from random people, and sometimes I answer them and just listen.
You do?
Like, yeah. I don't show my face or talk or anything, but I just listen to what people say, and they're like, answer me, why aren't you talking? Like, and then cuss me out. I'm like, you're calling and harassing me, but I'm the problem. It's just a very odd thing that people don't know that's not okay. Because if I were to post your number, that wouldn't be okay. So why are you calling me a million times in a row? So that's probably the most frustrating thing, is like that kind of privacy, or coming to my house or anything. That's the stuff that kind of.
How often do people come to your house?
Not since I moved, but my house in Connecticut, people, like during the beginning of COVID, people would show up every day and like knock on my door and, please go away, thank you, I appreciate you, but please don't come to my house. Or when we first moved to LA, our address was posted and people would show up all the time. Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, so stalking and that kind of behavior is a problem for a lot of people who are famous. But do you feel in any way like the viral nature of TikTok and social media and the algorithm and the fact that people don't know you because you starred in a movie, they know you because they feel like they actually know you? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that plays into these really like toxic behaviors that people are exhibiting?
I can definitely see it sometimes, because someone will come up to me and bring up like, oh, I saw you crying in your Hulu show, like something like that. And that's definitely where, oh, you don't know me. I know you think you see my whole life, but you actually don't know me or anything. So I am very good, and I joke around with my followers on Twitter a lot, and I have a good relationship. But sometimes when it's a random person or teenage boy, I get very uncomfortable when they are like talking and making jokes around me, because I just feel a little unsafe.
That makes a ton of sense. I mean, it's complicated, right? As like, you want to post what your life is, but it's also, but some, like what's happening is non-consensual.
Yeah. or just taking pictures in public. And I always take a picture with anyone who comes up to me, but like from far away and I see it and I'm like either eating or not sitting up straight, I always get a little uncomfortable.
Do you feel in any way like this normalizes a lack of privacy for American teens?
I mean, it's so easy, especially I see videos on TikTok all the time of people filming random people and posting it, and then all the comments are so mean, and you have no idea what that person is doing that for.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think it's very odd, and I would love for that to settle down.
So being at the top of the creator economy, which is something that's very exciting for people in entertainment, people in big tech, and consumers, what have you learned about the big tech and the entertainment industries?
I feel like I've learned a lot, but again, everything is changing so fast where I don't even think these tech companies know how to keep up and how to keep people's attention for longer than 15 seconds now. I mean, even YouTube, I see people don't watch my videos for as long as they used to because we're used to watching quick TikTok videos and scrolling through so fast. And now there's, on TikTok, people put videos or take a movie or a TV show and put it on half the screen. The other half is like someone playing Subway Surfers or playing with slime or something. People's attention is so short now that they're watching two things at once that have nothing to do with each other and can tell you what happened in both. Like, it's so wild, but I think that's what these companies don't know how to keep up with and how to keep people's attention for that.
Right. There's been a recent report on TikTok which said, they tested it and the algorithm perpetrated things that were toxic. And it seems like it's spiraling out of control. I don't know. What do you think?
I know for myself, right now, I think I'm definitely more of a viewer than a content creator because I spend so much time like watching TikToks and I'm on my phone a lot. And I definitely see it's just different every day. You never know what you're going to open up and see what people are interested in. And the sounds that are viral on TikTok are so in and out. So even with the music industry, everyone was like, we need to go on TikTok. But it's so rare that TikTok blows up a song or something nowadays because it's usually something really dumb or random that blows up. It's so, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very, like, all the artists were like, we need to do everything on TikTok, and now it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So
it almost seems like the viral nature of it is out of control.
Yeah, there's no way, there's no rule book or guide at all, and I think everyone is very confused.
And I think one big part of that is that the relationship between what you're getting sold and what you're, just organic content, it's very unclear.
I definitely see that because, now what TikTok has been promoting recently is you can look up anything on TikTok and learn how to do this here. So
goodbye, Google.
I'm watching and I'm learning things. I have no idea if that's true, but I saw it. I'm going to tell my friend, did you know this? And it all moves so fast, and one person could tell a lie and put it on, and then it's viral, and everyone thinks this one thing that isn't true. It's just very weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so I know we're running out of time here, so I just want to talk about one really exciting thing, which is that you've just raised $6 million at a $100 million valuation, which is insane for your newest venture, D'Amelio Brands. Talk about that.
So I'm doing this D'Amelio Brands with my family, and this is kind of what we wanted to do from the beginning. My whole family is very creative, and my dad has been in the fashion world for the longest time. He's been business world for the longest time, and this is what I want to do. This is what Charlie wants to do, and what she's really good at, and just being in the conversations. And we have these ideas and this creativity, and we want to just share it and build something amazing for what we see is needed and for the people who follow us.
Another thing that's really fascinating about your business is Social Tourist, your collaboration with Hollister. Talk about that.
That is probably the coolest thing, being able to work on our own clothing brand. Again, my dad was in the industry and I always watched him and be on phone meetings and talking about color and design and everything, and I was just always taking it in. So now being in those meetings on my own brand is the best thing, and we have a pop-up store on Melrose, and there's just so many things that I've learned just from working with Social Tourist and that team, and the things that we can possibly do is crazy, and we can bring ideas and then we see it's a trend and we're like, oh my gosh, we did that. That's amazing. And I love it so much.
Cool. And another thing that you seem to love is your music career. You were just on tour, and that's kind of the first time that you were like face to face with fans in a major way. Talk about that.
So I opened up for Big Time Rush on their tour, and it was the best thing ever. I learned so much. I loved being able to meet people that follow me because I haven't had a lot of opportunities to do that. So being able to perform my album and also just meet new people every night and perform in front of an audience was the coolest feeling. I definitely know it's a little lonely, so next time I'm definitely bringing a friend, but I had the absolute best time and I can't wait to do it again.
Okay, last question to you, Dixie. It's been a journey. You've done a lot. You're doing a lot. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I think in 5 years, I hope to be, if you were to ask me this 5 years ago, I don't know what, like it would have been totally different. So I think I try to just kind of live day by day. And I know that's not the answer, but just continue doing things I enjoy, be very heavily in the business and the music, and just kind of see how I can bring all the things I love together and still be working with my family.